Welcome to Autonauts. This is Rever, and I am been playing this game a little bit. It's a little bit of an addictive game. I will get into it. Why don't we dive right in? I'll give you a little bit of advice while the loud jet engine roars. So you have a few options. I haven't played free and I haven't played creative, and I have learned that this would not be a particularly good starting map because this is water. Now, I'm not even 100% sure, but I think this is water that you can fish in versus the ocean. So I'm just going to randomize until we get a little bit less water around us. You don't need that much. I just don't want to stay like that island. Yeah, this might not be too bad. Let's just keep going until we get one that, yeah, say of course, there you go. So this one's got plenty. There's a little water down here, fishing, over here. Now, I don't know how long, if I make this a series at all, we'll kind of see. Let me know what you guys think by the end of it, and we'll go from there. So you can move your exact starting location. I don't think it matters too much. This brown stuff is soil that you can farm and get resources from. So it's good to have some of that around. You usually do. And then as far as the other resources, there's things like stones and whatnot that you need to get right away. And many other things, and I haven't even gotten into the whole game, though I've kind of restarted a couple times as I learned more. So let's go ahead and just get going with this. We don't need the tutorial. If you guys buy the game, you can do it. Now, if you watch this immediately upon when I release it, which should be pretty early, but I think at 12 noon or so Eastern, 12 or 1 o'clock Eastern time, the game's no longer on sale for $17. It'll go back up to $20. So yeah, is it worth it? I think so. It sort of depends on how much $20 is worth it to you, but it's a well-done game. So let's get in there, and we will land on our planet. If you guys have... There's a bunch of games that are pretty similar to this out there. And there we go. So you start out with just yourself, and this guy tells you a few things. You can go into doing some of his quests, which help lead you through. The tutorials, like most of them, are like a series of quests. Otherwise, even if you don't do the tutorial, they have these things over here, these plans. So if you come up here and hit that thumbtack, you can pin this over. And if you hover here, you can see down in the bottom right what they want you to do. So they want me to chop down trees, dig soil, and plant tree seeds. So tree seeds also look like acorns in the game. Now, when you go around and look, you'll see that we don't have too much explored. If you just go over to an area, you can explore it. There we go. So we get a better idea of what's going on. Probably could have just come down this way. Now, if we zoom out, you can go pretty far and you get an idea. We want a good amount of room, and this is kind of a real nice start. We've got quite a few things. Let's get him headed over this way, or her. I think it's a him because that's me, right? And we'll just expose some of this so we can see what's going on. Now, we don't have to... This thing doesn't do you any good. It's like a totem pole. I don't think there's any particular benefit to said totem pole. Head over here. We'll just get this last. There's some cotton. So there's other things. I haven't even gotten into cotton ever. So maybe we will if this series continues. Just taking a look. What we want to do is we need to set up some production right away. Oh, look, we got cows here. Again, not something I've even gotten into. I'm thinking of heading this way a little bit with stuff. Yeah. All right, so let's head over here to make this our first area. So what they want us to do is chop down trees. Now we have the ability to build things, and one of the things we can build is a crude workbench. Now, I have found that it's good to have, I'll call it your own crude workbench, right? Now, eventually we're also going to want one of these bot assembly areas, and then we have different storages. Now, you get more technologies as time goes on. In a while, we can get colonists. Then colonists give you woo, love. And you use their love to do research. So we don't really need to worry about research to get started. Hit the E key here, and that gets you in and out of there. And then what we need is a log and 2 sticks. So here's 2 sticks right here. And when you first start out, when I first started playing, I didn't like quit out of anything but just not having enough time in a day. And let's go over and get this one. But I really got kind of, it's like, I don't really like this game. And I'll show you, as we go into it, you'll kind of see why. So it's sort of a bit of a pain in the butt game. Now, one of the problems that we have here is that we have our stone. Like when you do start out, they give you a certain amount of stones right near your guy. So if you go too far away, you can have issues. But here we go. So this guy can pick up to 4 stones. As soon as you pick something up, then you can tell how many of them you can carry. And since I know as a general statement, we are going to need more tools that we can make in our little workstation here, we might as well bring 4 stones with us. Now let's go over here. So the 3 things we can make are a crude axe, a shovel, and a pick. And we're going to want to make all of those in pretty short order, but we can work on our first quest there by making a crude axe, which is one of those. And again, same thing here. I found when you're out, there's nothing else real close. Never mind. If you're out, like grab 2 sticks. If there had been 4 a little bit closer to us, I would have grabbed all 4 sticks. Like if you go, the further away you go, like there's 1, 2, 3. You know, it's worth bringing 4 back with you. But there we go. So we have a crude axe, and if we right-click here, we can chop down a tree. There we go. We might as well chop down this tree too, and get our 3 trees chopped down. Now you notice when we chop down trees, sometimes we get acorns and sometimes you get sticks. And those are very useful for things. All right, there we go. So we've done that, right? We've gotten the first part of our quest there done. Now they want us to dig soil. So let's come back here. Left click, you can put things down. And if we come in here, we can make a shovel. So let's grab another stone, another stick, and we'll make a shovel. Now, to be honest with you, where you dig is not that important to get started. Like we could just come over here and dig 3 holes. Oops, I put the thing down. Right click to do the action most of the time. And I'm going to put our lumber over in this area. So I'm just going to dig these holes. We can plant a few trees over here. I'm not sure if it matters if you plant them right next to each other or not. But that'll get, we're just sort of working on following our first forestry there, which is not really, these are not 100% in order, and you may find that you kind of went in the wrong order of things. But I want to bring back these seeds and left click on there, and it should plant one of the seeds. There we go. And then very shortly we'll have, doesn't take too long for trees and such to pop up. There we go. So we got dig, chop, plant, repeat. And this is what I'm talking about. This little, as you get each one of these completed, this thing grows. And like I said, I don't think there's any benefit to being near it or anything. And so they'll give us the ability to make a chopping block, which we really kind of had to get that done before we could start automating anything. And I've also found that even though they have all this pinning system, I guess there's a reason you wouldn't pin all of these. Oops. Oh, we got to click OK here. So there's new sets of plans. So because we completed that one, we unlocked more of these, plans. Now, you have to do these plans to get things, but I don't know why you wouldn't, generally speaking, just pin all of those. And by pinning them, what that does is when we close this, it takes you out to here. Now, if you notice, we have like a lesson, which I really don't even want to start. But if you do that, it will lead you through things that I've already done. So in other words, it will lead you through how to build a bot or whatever the intention is, like added instructions at that point. So, but if you just hover over these, I can see, look, it scrolls. So I don't know why you wouldn't want them all pinned here. Now, do we want to work on forestry, lumber? It's all, these two are very similarly related. I'm just going to go with what I've learned and what I know. So let's see, what was the other? Yeah, that's right. We got a chopping block. So the good thing about a chopping block is that it will let you, here, I'll show you. We can, let's click on chopping block. And I want to build a row of these chopping blocks. I want to do it close to where I know the forest is going to be. And probably put it this way. Can I come over? Yeah, let's put the first chopping block right here. Because what I'll do is we'll have a series of chopping blocks. And then we'll have a series of these. Actually, I probably want to put that one further away, which is no big deal. Now let's go get our shovel. And I just want to get these mushrooms out of the... Oop, that's an acorn. Yeah, you know what? Go put that right here. Yeah, go get the shovel. Now, if you click on something and you can only carry like one of a type thing in your hand, which is a bit annoying, but you get used to it. Oops. There you go. So we can go put the shovel here. Let's get all these mushrooms. They won't let you put anything down even if there's just like these mushrooms in the way. Let's go put these like over here where they're not likely to ever be in our way. Now if I hit E and M, you can move anything. But see what I mean? Like if I wanted to put that right there, so it means we have to get this log out of the way, which I should have thought of before I'm going to take that log. We need a log in our chopping block, so we'll put it in this one. I'm going to E and M, move this over. And by the way, this is weird the way, see how that moving symbol is off to the right of the cursor? Like you don't, a lot of times I want to put that moving thing over something. Now you have to put the actual cursor over it. It's like a helper, I guess you could call it. So there we go. So we have 2 storages and 2 chopping blocks. And what I'd like to do is actually get another storage. I'm going to hit E again. And let's put it like this way. Maybe this way. All right, I'm just trying to be a little bit... I deleted it. Sorry. There we go. So now we have another storage here. Now this storage is the first one I actually want to build. So see, we're going to need a log and a plank and a pole. So let me go get this. Now what you can do is if I come down here and right click, I can switch this guy. See that? So switch him back. Switch. Now the thing is, if I had that in my hand, I couldn't grab this log. Now there's little things you learn about the game, like we only need 1 log, right? I'm going to left click, throw it in there. If you chop these up, you can carry 4 pieces of wood. So I'm going to come up here, watch this, 4 planks. If I put that in my hand and then I chop. So in other words, I could only have carried this 1 log back. It's actually, in a sense, twice as efficient to chop down. See, in a sense, I'm carrying 2 logs worth of planks. See, I can carry 4 planks. So we'll go ahead and put this guy in here. All right, and now we need a pole. So I'm going to put this guy down, switch this guy into here, chop this guy up. All right, and now I have 2 poles. I'm going to switch this guy back out of my hand. And we only need, we do need 2. And then he jumps up and down on it for a little while, and ba-bing. So now the reason I want this one is so that we can have these guys automatically bring the lumber out to here, the logs, and then they're going to turn it into lumber using this guy. So in order to use this guy, we need a crude axe. We already got a log in him, so we'll go ahead and we need a stick. Oh, no, I made another shovel. That's all right. We'll use it up. There we go. So now, there's that. Yeah, oops, I wrong clicked on it. Yeah, so let's come up here and gather up some more sticks. Nope, I didn't mean to put you down. No sticks there. There we go. This is what I mean about, if you're going to have to run around doing this stuff, gather 4 of them at a time. It's not a bad thing. All right, so let's come down here and we'll just put that in a little pile here. I have to get some more stones. And so this game is all about automating stuff as you go. And it's a little bit tedious in the beginning. There we go. So we're going to grab that axe. Now here's the other thing I don't necessarily, let's put this guy down here. Like a little bit, there's little things that you could, I'd call it take advantage of. Like if I left click on here with a used one, it's fine. I don't think you're not cheating the game much. But then now this axe is like a full-fledged axe. But now the advantage to this... Oh, good lord. No, what is that about? Okay. I don't know. The timer seems to have changed. I don't understand what happened there. Like, I'm on the stopwatch function just to keep time of the video. Sorry about that. In any event, we can have this one set to chop planks. So if all you have to do is bring a board over here, or a log, carry it into here. Oops. Sorry. I clicked on the space, not the stump itself. Now you're not using, like this will just forever, like it never dulls. So you don't, this thing doesn't need any maintenance, where if you sat there chopping them up with the hatchet, it would need some maintenance. So there we go. So it's a little bit easier way of making, you know, some planks, and potentially this one we can turn it into poles, right? So we're going to need another crude axe to get this one going, which means we're going to need more stone. So let's go down here and gather up some stone real quick. Again, we can carry 4 of them in a shot, so we'll do that. There we go. Now let's head back and we put them down right next to it. Now what we're going for here is actually to start making some bots. Oops. Keep right clicking. Let's go get a stick. Probably shouldn't have put those right behind there where I can't see them. There we go. So we'll get this guy. We'll put him in here. And then go grab a log for him. And I'm kind of doing things out of the perfect order now that I think about it. I should probably get back on track. But getting these 2 built really does help that you're not going to be using up axes. Right? So we can come over here and say, I want you to make poles. So I don't know if it's totally out of order. But if we come over here and grab this guy... So we put that guy in there, and we get some poles made. So it all needs to be done. I'm not sure if there's an absolute best order. If we come here again, and I'm going to put this guy in here. So he moves a lot slower when he's carrying that big log. You can only carry one of them. There we go. And I know we need some extra of this stuff, so again, it's not the end of the world as far as that goes. So we have the basics of getting to poles. And one of the other reasons, here, let's get rid of this guy. Let's put him back over there. What I want to do is build the other thing we can build, which is one of the other things, I think the only other thing, is this bot assembly. Now, you can move any of these buildings, so don't worry too much about where you build them, other than this guy I know when he starts outputting these things, you don't want it to run into anything, because you'll see what I mean. So we're going to put this guy, like, say, right here's pretty good. Right. And then we need to build this. So we need 2 logs for this, which is a bit of a pain. So let's go up there and get 2 logs. And this is our bot assembly. And we can start making bots with this. Once we have, so notice that we have the planks I just made. And I know in the not too distant future, I just wanted to show you that. Grab that one way up there. Now the other thing is when he gets off screen sometimes you'll see him, he has his logs down here so you can tell that he actually got the log. And then we'll have the 3 planks ready to go and we'll be able to build a bot. Keep clicking. 1, 2, 3 right clicks and then 2, 3. Now if you left click on the ground it drops all of it, but if you click onto here it'll only drop the 1. So there we go. So we have a bot assembly unit. And we have to, in the future, we'll have more that we can build through here. So there we go. Like if you look close, you can see it's making bots now. If you hover over it, you can see we need a log, a plank, a pole, and a tree seed. So let's go get that. And then we need a pole. And we need 3 planks, so that means we need to come and get 3 more logs, which is... We need a log for this too, so we'll just go maybe put the first one right in here. And again, like I've learned as I set him up, like you'll be able to see that he's done dropping that off because you can look down here. See what I mean? And then I send him up the other way, and then I come down and get ready to click on this. There we go. So now he's going to come over and turn those into planks. And then when he drops that off, we'll be able to tell. Now he's going to jump up and down for a minute, but it won't let us click on that. Notice that? And you can hear the noise in the background maybe. So there we go. So now the noise is done. The highlighter comes back. Now we need 3. So we need 3 of these. There we go. Need 4, but that's okay. And we can get our first spot. And there you go. So there is a bot. And said bot can be powered up. So I right click on them. You're ready to start automating. Yes, I am. More than you know it. All right, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drop them off. And when I do, it opens them up. So it's a little bit annoying that you can't really just click on them. You have to like lift them up and put them down. Now you can rename them. So I'm going to call this Log Digger. Right? So that shall be his name. And then if we click on here, we can record a program for him. So now I'm not ready to quite do that, so if we hit the stop, so I'm going to grab this guy and give him a shovel. Well, we don't really need to give him a shovel. We'll just go ahead and record. So I'm going to come up here and just click on the ground. And I'm going to, once I get done digging the hole, it shows him how to dig a hole, right? Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, I just want you to do that forever. And you have to have this in flashing mode to edit anything up here. And I'm going to say, go to the max area. And then I'm going to try to find a max area. Let's zoom back out again. Yeah, that covers, you know, we want to cover most of the ground. Now, how many are up here? I think we're better off moving down 1. And you know what? Maybe we'll even just move over 1. No, we'll move back. That should pretty much give us the maximum. And it's probably more than we'll ever need, but it is nice to have a nice big area. So I'm going to hit the check mark. So this is the area that he will dig holes in, and he's going to do it forever. Now, eventually his shovel is going to break, and we'll have another way of making him go get a shovel, but we don't have any location for shovels for him to go get at this point. So we just want him to get in here and get started. So we're going to hit the play button here. Oh. Yeah, so let's toss him the shovel. And then now he found a hole and he has a shovel. Now we're going to have to make him another shovel, but that's okay. We have one in spare right there, right? So now the other thing that's going to happen here is that we want to get somebody to start cutting down the trees, right? The reason I got the digger going is because I know he's kind of the slowest part of the operation, so getting him going is just a good thing. And we're going to have to go get and make another bot here. And it might have been smart for that reason to get the lumber guy going first, but, you know, smart's not always my middle name. Matter of fact, I don't think it's not my middle name. There we go. So we'll get a log in here, and we have to go get another log to get planks, and we have an extra pole, which is good. We'll have to go gather up some more seeds. So if we were to cut these down, we'd have the logs a little bit closer for us. But let's go get that guy going. And we'll chop that one up, and we should have the 3 planks we need. And then we'll get another axe made, right? Yeah, we needed another axe. Oh, no, we have the axe right there, so that's good. Now, one of the things to say about this game, too, is there's really no rush. You can, you know, you can be very leisurely with it. It's one of the things I think I found that I like. You know, I get like other people, oh, I got to get this done, got to get that done. But really, you know, your guy doesn't get hungry. I don't think there's anything that necessarily has to happen at a certain instant where it's the end of the world. Like, even if your whole little lumber area turns into a bit of a nightmare of... It's just not the end of the world at that point. Now, the other thing I probably want to... You know what? I'm going to leave that guy there. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to drag this one, put it back in here, because we want more of these seeds in that area. Like, if we're going to go grab seeds, I want to do it from some place that when we automate it, they can't grab them from. If that makes sense. So let's come down here. Now I want to keep a few tree seeds just down by this thing because I know that's how we're going to make all these bots. So for a little while you may have a bit of a shortage of sticks or a shortage of tree seeds. There we go. So now we have another bot. And we'll wind him up. And I guess it saves a bit of energy. Carry him over here. Plop him down. We'll get this axe. Now we only have one axe, so at first I was always making another one. So, oh, by the way, look at that. It closed that. The only way I know to open them up, besides picking them up again, which we couldn't do because we have the axe in the hand, is to come over here and let's say log, or I'm just going to call him tree cutter. Right? There we go. Good enough. Whatever name you want. And it just helps you keep them straight when they're in that list over there. So we're going to come over here and say, I want you to go up to it, right-click on the tree. Now notice it puts this box here, so we're going to want this box to like perfectly mimic the other one. So I'm going to say, okay, I want you to do that forever. And I'm going to click on here, and you want to try to remember exactly where your other one is, right? So right there, I think, is where we had it. No, I went one further down. I went one further down. It, you know, the way this guy digs holes, trust me, it's plenty. You don't need a hole every single place. Though you do want to keep this in mind, especially what you, sometimes the stuff can fall out the edge. But this guy will be able to find all of the different things, so we should be in good shape. So you use this area and just cut down all the trees that you see in this area. Go to town, buddy. Now, this is a big annoyance. Oops. Right, left click. Throw on the log, and then off he goes. They run out of power. So at some point in the future, when we have a few more bots, we're going to want to have bots that recharge other bots. And if you really get sophisticated, you can try to make it so that even the recharge bots get recharged by bots that are recharging bots. That makes sense, I hope. So there we go. So now this guy's producing us some logs down here, so we can a little more quickly get the rest of the stuff. And the other good news is he's knocking some sticks out, but we really want to get a planter guy going before too long here so we can get the trees planted back in. And that guy's job will be to go look for the acorns and then find a hole and put them in there. Now, we could also do it a little bit different, which we probably should. Yeah, let's go get another log. So we're going to need 3 planks for our next guy. We'll have to make a pole with one of the planks. Oops. Yeah, let's see, if you click on that, you gotta click on the actual stump. There we go. So we'll take the pole over here. We'll grab the seed while we're right here. Let's go get our 3 planks. Now, if you really want to get fancy, and we will eventually, but we can always change these programs and whatnot. So we'll have this bot, and let's see. Hey, we made 3 bots. Oh, I made 200 bots. Yeah, it gives you an idea how much I've played. I got a game achievement, another badge. See, I played up until a little bit into like the next phase there. So I'm going to click on this guy and pick him up and drag him over here. Let's see if he has enough memory. He should for now. So we're going to call this tree planter. And then click the record button. And then I'm going to say, I want you to go look for an acorn. And then I want you to find a hole. And I want you to plant it. And I want you to do that forever. And again, if he runs out of holes or acorns, he can always go find them in a different place. Now we're going to come up here. Oops, say max area. Now, I don't know, this is the max area to find an acorn in. So I'm going to offset this a little bit. Oh, our shovel guy ran out of shovels. Yeah, so we're going to come up here, and we're going to say max area. Now this one, because he's going to find a hole, I want to make sure that's going to be over top of all of the existing holes. Now, he still has 5 kilobytes free. So what I can do, if I want, is come up here. We're still recording. Right, and click on this acorn, right, and then they're down here, and we still have enough kilobytes. So what that means is that we have enough room to have him. Make sure you put him right in the right order. And then let's see if we have enough room for him to find another hole. Just barely. No, see, we don't. See, we don't have enough memory for this guy to do it twice. See, because even if I move this up in here, it doesn't say use held item. That means I should just get rid of these. We should be happy with the one, and then that's why you want upgrades to your guys in the future. So in any event, I am going to find tree, move the sand, pick up tree seed, go to the hole, do that forever. Right, so now the part of the problem is going to be is like these I offset his tree seed thing, hoping that he would be able to do more than he could. So I'm just going to go help him out a little bit. Oops, and make sure these are all within his range. So now we have to go make more tools. So let's go get our shovel guy the shovel, because he's as important as anybody else, right? Get our forest planted. And then we need to go get another axe made here. That is set on crude axes. There's our stick. And go get him his axe. There we go. So good. So now we got guys planning, and we got guys. Let's do one more, and then we'll call it an episode. And let me know if you guys want to see me play this more. I am not an absolute expert on it, but I think it's fun. I mean, it's definitely, something I could continue to do. Take these things from... If you're going to grab stuff yourself, consider taking them from where they might not be able to grab them. But the last one I want to make is a bot that would gather up some of the wood. And eventually we'll make a guy that can specifically... Because this guy can't do anything more than find acorns and plant one hole, we'll either make a guy to do it twice or even make a guy to gather up the acorns and then bring them into like a chest where the guy can go get them from the chest and just go plant them. And that can be like right out in the middle of the thing, right? So you want to, rather than putting it over here, you might want to put it there, but then you might want to put it down here because we can auto make bots. So we might just put it here where the guy can go grab an acorn if we're going to auto make some of the bots. So you got to keep in mind where all these things are. All right, so let's grab 3 of these. So there's a fair amount of logistics. Now, when I first started out, let me show you something in a second here. We'll get this bot made and going. All of these things can be moved. And I'll give you my last little good trick. All right, so let's come up here and just we'll plop them somewhere near a log. Doesn't matter too much. And then we'll come over here to, log. So we're going to call him Log Gather. Call him whatever you want, of course. We're going to record. I want you to grab a log, and I want you to take the log over to here. All right, and I want you to do that forever. And then I want you to look for logs in... let's see, can we do that twice again? Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if he has enough memory. Let's come back here, move the log. Right, see how we get a second area? Now, can we do that again? Move the palette. Yeah. So, we're going to move this, that. Just being careful. So, what we can do now, the reason I did that more than any other is because if I come here and click, I can say max area, right? And then I know, see how we're like 1 over? Like the trees aren't going to fall out 3 over. They fall like next. So this way, any trees that fall out here or down at the bottom, we'd get them. I'm going to hit check, and then I'm going to go over to this one, and I'm going to say max area, and I'm going to try to do it the other way, right? It sort of depends on where those... See, we're going to go like this, right? So that any trees... Where's the... We should be able to get most of the logs. Like, see, this one fell out of the range. I might even go one more over this way. Does that make sense? So that there's a better chance that he's going to go gather a log that's overlapping. Like, he won't do it every time, but that's fine. Like, you don't need him to do it every single time. All right, so let's check. We'll hit play. All right, so now we got a guy going and gathering up logs and bringing them in here for us, which makes it that much easier for us to just grab one out of here. Come up here, chop up some planks. See? So it's all about the automation. And it's a little bit tedious in the beginning. And then, yeah, one of the bots we want to get, look, these guys are running out of power and they're going to run out of tools. So pretty shortly you want to get some tool making going, which includes some mining and stuff like that. There we go. So we recharge those guys back up and we can make another bot and we can do other things. So let's see, where is, okay, gravel's all the way down here. There's usually a little plot like this near wherever your thing is. And then if you were to look on the map, you'll see. So we might be better off coming down here and having somebody haul stuff up there. But that means we're going to need even more recharge bots. But if you look, this is definitely a much bigger area at that point. I don't know what boulders are for. Can we move the boulder? Oh, no, we got a stick in our hands. Come back here. Actually, put the stick up there. Oh, put the stick up here. Alright, so I know we're going to have to make more stuff and, you know, as time goes on, but it might be better to start here where we have a bigger thing. It's not that much difference than this one. And I don't see any, you can usually see that stuff. Yeah, you can see it on the other map. I guess you can't see it until you explore. It might even be worth exploring a little bit. Yeah, see, we're running out of charge. And again, there's no real hurry other than how fast you want to get stuff done. Like, you know, they're doing their thing. If we run into problems here, you don't have to feel like you need to go through the progress tree like it's 700 miles an hour. See, we're going to get the forestry badge. And sometimes you kind of get ahead of yourself if you go too fast. Not so much in this beginning part, but as you start ramping up towards level 2 as you get to there. So, well, like I said, guys, let me know what you think of this. I mean, I would definitely not mind doing a short series on it, or at least a couple other episodes, sharing the things I've learned. I don't have a ton of time to do this normally. This week I sort of had a little bit of extra time because it was raining as much as anything else. So the ground's been wet, so I couldn't do too much yard work, so that cut down on the need for that. But there we go. So see, now we need another shovel, so I better get back to work. And actually, I'm going to pause it right here. So let me know if you guys want to see a second episode. And if so, oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, trees growing. Okay. So we got forestry, and that'll give us some, you know, a few other things. Nothing too exciting there. I haven't really gotten into the hats and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's kind of cutesy in a way that I'm not usually into. But in other words, I sort of ignore the cutesy part, to be honest with you. So we need to go get that guy's shovel. I hope you've enjoyed it. And here's what I would say. Even if you didn't enjoy the video, I mean, consider the game. We've watched other people's videos, and yeah, it's well done. It's a fun little game, you know, and it's got quite a few levels. Let me just, sorry, I keep saying goodbye. Yeah, we really can't see too much just yet because we're kind of not far enough along. Yeah, at some point we're going to be able to get into research, and then I could show you better all the different things. But you could see there's quite a bit when you look at the animals and the food levels. There's a whole bunch of cooking things. So it'll definitely, if you enjoy this kind of game, it's worth the $20. And if you watch the video as soon as I put it up, it's, was worth the $17 or whatever the 20% discount was. All right, there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye-bye.